Ability Center's Total Core Stretch.
Welcome to your Total Core Cool Down and Stretch. Joining you today is myself, Megan, and Sam is going to be doing the seated options for you. So if you have a mat, go ahead and grab your mat, or if you don't, grab a blanket, or you can stay in your seated position. We're going to start on our back. So head down to the floor or staying on your mat, head to your back. We're going to take both of our knees and we're going to tuck them in towards our chest. So we're going to hug our knees into our chest. For your seated option, you can do one leg at a time, switching halfway, and go. So holding in towards your chest, stretching out your glutes and your back. If you feel more comfortable grabbing onto the backs of your knees instead, that's an option as well. Just focusing on your breath, inhaling and exhaling. And if you are in your seated doing one side, make sure you switch over to the other side. Four, three, two, one, and rest. Good. We're gonna fully extend our left leg. We're gonna keep our right knee bent, and I'm gonna take my right knee over to the left side of the floor, and I'm gonna look over to my right side. Sam, in her seated, is going to have her left hand go over to her right knee and her right arm on the back of her chair doing a twist. I'm just gonna hold this for 30 seconds. Feeling a nice stretch going through your glutes and your back. Good job. Staying up nice and tall no matter where you are. Four, three, two, one, and gently release back into the center. Let's switch sides. So now I'm going to straighten my right leg, bend my left, and head on over to my right side. And Sam's going to switch over to her other side and go. Core is still nice and tight, even though as we're stretching. Utilize that right hand to drive your knee down to the floor, just to help stretch it out a little bit more. Good work. 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently release. All right, if you are on your mat, I want you to gently roll over to your tummy. We're gonna go into cobra position. So I'm gonna be laying on my mat, on my tummy. Hands are underneath my shoulders. I'm gonna push myself up away from the mat, having my hips still on the mat and having my gaze looking forward. My toes are on the floor, so the tops of my foot. Sam, in her seating position, is gonna reach her hands up as high as she feels comfortable and does a little bit of an arch backwards with her back, lifting her chin away from her chest and holding. Good work. At any time, if you need to take a little breather, you can always come back down and then push yourself back up again. Same in your seated, you can always release a little bit and then reach your hands. So if you wanna have a slight bend in your elbow still, if you wanna reach your hands fully up above your head, whatever works the best for you. Keep holding. 3, 2, 1, and gently release. All right, child's pose is our next one. So I want you to curl your toes, having your toes on the floor, and I want you to push yourself up and away from the mat. Bum is coming towards your heels, and then you can release your toes from the mat. Hands are fully extended forward, head is dropping between your elbows. The idea is just to get your bum down towards your heels. And in your seated position, if you would like to, you're gonna fold forward, placing your chest on top of your thighs, reaching your hands down towards your ankles. Good, and you're just gonna hold in your child's pose. Continuing to breathe, stretching out your back. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Good job. Less than 10 seconds to hold. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release your bum away from your heels. We're gonna have our hands underneath our shoulders, fingers are spread, knees underneath your hips. You're gonna curl your toes back onto the mat. We're gonna go into cat-cow next. So I'm gonna have my gaze forward, my hips are down, my chest is down towards the mat, and then I'm gonna lift my back up, rounding it up towards the ceiling, and my gaze is now looking between my knees, and I'm just gonna repeat going down and back up, alternating cat and cow. Sam in her seated has her hands on her thighs. She can have her hands on the back of her chair to open her chest. Good, lifting her chin away from her chest, and then as she rolls forward, placing her hands on her thighs, she's gonna stretch out her back and her chin's gonna come to her chest. So we're just gonna keep alternating between cat and cow, and go. So I want you to hold each of them for about a second or two, and then slowly transition to the other one. Good, rounding your back for cat, dipping your back down for cow. Good job. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome. All right, if you are on your mat, walk your hands back towards your knees, lifting your hips away from your bum, or not your bum, your heel, silly goose. And you're gonna take your right leg stepping forward. I'm now gonna push my hips forward. My left knee is still on the floor, and I'm stretching out the front of my hip, okay? Sam in her seated is gonna place her left foot underneath her chair. Good, up nice and tall, drop her knee down towards the floor, and she's gonna gently lean back a little bit, holding her stretch. And again, on this one, anytime you can always gently release, and then go back into your stretch. Just make sure you're not doing any pulsing motions, so you can just hold. If you need to, you can have both of your hands on your non-stretching leg. And if you're in your seated, your hands can be at the side of your chair or on your chair. Good job. 4, 3, 2, gently release and switch. All right, now I'm switching sides, pushing through the opposite side. Up nice and tall, hands on my non-stretching legs, or I can have my hands on my side. Feeling the stretch on the opposite side, up nice and tall. Good work. Still breathing, even though we're stretching. 10 seconds to go. Letting that muscle relax and stretch out. 3, 2, 1. Gently release. And if you're on your mat, come up into standing. All right, we're gonna be taking our left hand, reaching it up and over to our right side, either above our head, or you can cross it in front of your body. Your opposite hand can either hook into your hip, or it can just dangle at your side. We're just gonna hold and reach over. Halfway, we will switch sides. Good, continuing to breathe. Good, and gently release over to your opposite side. Awesome work, keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, gently release. All right, we're gonna do big hugs. So we're gonna open our arms up nice and wide. Arms are at shoulder height, feet are hip width apart, no matter where you are in standing or seated. And then I want you to bring your arms in, giving yourself a nice big hug, separating those shoulder blades, and then I want you to open. So I just want you to gently release both. Open, and then bring it in for a big hug. Good, we're gonna keep alternating, opening, and closing. Good work. So receive those nice big hugs that we're giving you, and I'm gonna take all of yours in that you're giving me. Awesome, open up. Holding each of these about a second or two. Few more. Last hold in and shake it out. All right, let's take a big breath in. Inhale your hands up. And exhale your hands back down. Awesome work on your total core cool down and stretch. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining me today. Have a wonderful day.
Ability Center's Total Core Stretch.